veteran at catcher, Tim Robbins, the young pitcher, Susan Sarandon, the Cougar extraordinaire. You know, I mean, it's in the Hall of Fame, and it's in the Baseball Hall of Fame, and it's a movie. Bull Durham, my number 5 sports movie of all time.
See, I knew that this is how you act. So typical. I knew that this was coming, man, but, you know, I had to start out.
I know what you went for number 5.
I had to start out my top 5 with a baseball movie as well, but I'm taking it back to the younger days, man. I'm taking it back to Oak Grove Elementary School, man. Shout out to the Cougars and the Oak Grove Pirates. Got me started in my young athletic career. My number 5, Angels in the Outfield. When you talk about an inspirational movie, when you talk about a movie that damn near had me in tears every time I watched it, and I did watch it once a day, that's 7 days a week. Angels in the Outfield, man, what was that deal? How can, as a father, how can you know that the California Angels at the time were so bad that they were never going to win the pennant, that you tell your son, I'm going to come back and take you with me when the Angels win the pennant? Man, what kind of, how can you even, why would you do that? Yeah, I'm getting emotional right now thinking about it, talking about it. You know, and he didn't have to do that guy like that. You know, and the Lord saw fit to send down some real angels to help that young boy out, man, and help the Angels win the pennant. Danny Glover, award-winning performance in my book, and that's what counts to me. Angels in the Outfield, number 5 on my list.
Pierre, there were several baseball movies who didn't make the list. I would be remiss if I didn't mention Mr. 3000, late great Bernie Mac, one of the funniest baseball movies I ever seen. Love Bernie Mac, man. Rest in peace to that guy. Also,
do you have any more baseball movies on your list?
No more baseball movies, but I did want to mention Mr. 3000.
Yeah, I don't have any either.
And I did want to mention Charlie Sheen's Oscar-winning performance.
Major League.
Major League.
And as I'm thinking, I'm like, how did I leave that off my list, man? Like, not the one with Omar Epps.
Not the one with Buddha.
But the one with Nino Brown starring as Willie Mays Hayes.
Nino Brown
man.
and Buddha.
The original
and
Major
Buddha.
League.
Yes, sir. Those 2 baseball movies didn't make my top 5, but I wanted to mention those. So, I'm moving on, but I digress. My digression is at an all-time high.
Number 4.
Had to go with Al Pacino, Jamie Foxx, and Any Given Sunday. Come on, man. Al Pacino as the wily coach Tony D'Amato. Jamie Foxx as the young quarterback steaming Willie Beeman. Come on, man.
Willie Beeman.
LL Cool J as the out of control running back. You know, I mean, Cameron Diaz as the owner's daughter. Dennis Quaid as the old vet at quarterback. I love Any Given Sunday, man. I love Al Pacino. Love Jamie Foxx. I love football. I wanted to put it higher, but I had to slide it at number 4 because I have something special for you for my number 3 movie. So my number 4 sports movie of all time, Any Given Sunday.
Daimeon, I like it, but for my number 4, of course, I'm gonna stick to my roots. And a movie that, again, all of my movies just get you emotional, man. I'm going with Survive in Advance.
Oh, wow.
The 30 for 30.
Nice.
On Jim Valvano and the North Carolina State Wolfpack turned my wife, who's a North Carolina graduate, turned her into a Jimmy V fan and a North Carolina State supporter, man. It's a movie that you could just sit and watch over and over and over, man. And again, I wasn't born at the time when State won their last national championship and they made that magical run back in '83. So for me to be able to live it for the first time through that 30 for 30 and be able to hear Coach Valvano speak at length and many interviews and hear Derek Wittenberg and all those guys, to be able to see them and go through it, I can't put a price tag on it. Survive in Advance, number 4 on my list.
Impressive. You kind of crushed me with your number 4. My number 5 destroyed your number 5, but your number 4 kind of crushed me. You know we both live that Pack life. So anytime NC State comes in the conversation, man, I'm all about that Pack life, man. So you win number 4.
Number 3.
Now, you know I like to circumvent the rules. So you know I had to do a slash for number 3. I had to do a slash for number 3. I had to give you a Cordell Stewart. I had to give you a slash. I had to give you an Antoine Randall Ale. I had to give you a slash for number 3. Number 3 sports movie of all time for me is The Program and The Last Boy Scout. 2 football movies. Now, The Program, the reason why I put this as a slash, because it had my favorite female actress of all time in both movies, Miss Halle Berry. She's in both The Program and The Boy Scout.
Why do you feel like you can always circumvent the rules?
Because Halle Berry
why do you feel like it's your job and mission to be able to do that?
Halle Berry is fine as 20-year-old wine. She is in both The Program,
and yeah, she fine as May wine,
and The Last Boy Scout. Now, The Program, of course, man, The Program was the movie to watch when we were in high school on road trips. It was the movie to watch, man. You got Jane Kahn playing Coach Sam Winters, the coach who will, much like the hoodie, circumvent all the rules just to win the games. You have Omar Epps as Darnell Jefferson. Now, I'm kind of salty towards Omar Epps because my high school girlfriend loved Omar Epps, man. She used to talk about Omar Epps all the time like she was with Omar Epps. I said, if you love Omar Epps so much, tell Omar Epps to take you to junior and senior prom. But I digress. Also, The Program had Halle Berry.
Man, wait a minute. I can't go past that, man. Why you still sound like you all Lowry's to Omar Epps?
I don't hate Omar Epps because I love the movie Juice, and Omar Epps is in Juice. But my high school girlfriend, I mean, she loved Omar Epps a little bit too much, man. And it's ridiculous. Like, why don't you email Omar Epps, ask him to take you to junior and senior prom? I don't see him taking you to the steakhouse. I don't see him, ponying up this money for prom tickets. But I digress. I love the movie The Program. It shows you that a rookie can come in and play over a senior, and gives you hope that even though you come from a bad environment like Omar Epps' character Darnell Jefferson did, that you can make it in college, man. You can go to college, you can get your degree, and you can play ball. So The Program is my number 3 slash with The Last Boy Scout, simply because I love Bruce Willis. Think Damon Wayans is hilarious. And, of course, the beautiful Miss Halle Berry is in The Last Boy Scout. And I was watching The Last Boy Scout the other day, and I told my wife to come in the room. I said, baby, come in the room. Come in the room. I was like, look at the movie. I rewinded. I was like, look at this. Do you know who that is? She was like, no. I was like, that's Billy Blanks. Do you remember Billy Blanks at the beginning of Last Boy Scout running down the field with a pistol shooting people? I was like, wow. Billy Blanks, Mr. Tybo himself. But The Program / The Last Boy Scout, my number 3 sports movie of all time.
And The Program did teach you a lot of things, amongst other things that steroids can put you on the starting defense spot at the team.
I left that out so you can say that. Starting defense.
Hey, I love that movie, man. But The Last Boy Scout automatically eliminates you from having the best number 3. So let me go ahead and go with the winner.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, come on, man. You can just tell by the name that it doesn't belong on the list. The Last Boy Scout?
Bruh, for real? It was about football.
Now, to the true number 3, Sylvester Stallone, traveling all the way to Russia to avenge the death of his dear friend, Apollo Creed, in Rocky IV. If he dies, he dies.
I will crush you.
The greatest the greatest boxing movie of all time. And you know I'm a boxing buff. You know I'm a boxing buff. But when you talk about boxing movies, when you talk about the Rocky trilogy, which is without a doubt the greatest trilogy in all of sports movies, maybe even, I take that back. Star Wars probably the best trilogy movie, but all the sports movies, Rocky IV, if I can change and you can change and maybe Coco can change and Suge can change.
I'm going to stop you right there because
Everybody
that's not even the best Rocky movie, man.
What?
The best Rocky movie. No, the best Rocky movies with Tommy Morris. Touch me and I'll sue. If you really love the Rocky movies, you know what I'm talking about. Touch me and I'll sue.
When that man went to Russia and you could just see the pride of America chopping wood running through snow while the Russians had all the technology and the steroids and all this and that. You know, America just powered through, cut them in the early rounds, evened up the fight. How many times did Rocky get knocked down in the first round in that fight? Was it 6 times? Did the 3 knockdown rule not apply back then?
Yeah.
I mean, the man got knocked down 6 times in the first round and still won the fight.
I mean, Ivan Drago, another case of roid rage. Your number 3, it was decent. I guess you won. I mean,
I can absolutely say I won.
I loved the program. I loved The Last Boy Scout. Halle Berry was in both those movies. So I feel like I won, in my opinion, is pretty much the only one that matters. So, okay.
Number 2.
I struggled with this, man, because I love this guy, man. My favorite basketball player of all time. Number 2 is Space Jam.
Space Jam?
I mean, you got Michael Jordan,
What?
you got Looney Tunes. Space Jam is number 2, man. Space Jam is number 2 sports movies of all time. You got MJ, you got Looney Tunes, ultimate good guy versus bad guy. Looney Tunes versus the aliens. MJ is the ultimate ringer.
Space Jam.
I mean, I don't even have to argue this.
Are you kidding me?
I don't even have to argue this. Space Jam is in everyone's DVD collection. If it's not, then what are you smoking? And if I can ask you, can I have some? I mean, it's Michael Jordan, man. It's Looney Tunes. I mean, it's the best of both worlds, man. I mean, really. I mean, it's MJ. I mean, it's on the level of Come Fly With Me.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man just said Space Jam was his number 2 favorite sports movie of all time. What's going to be number 1? Air Bud?
Man, that had one of the most inspirational songs ever made. If I can see it. Come on, shout out to R. Kelly. I love Space Jam.
All right, number 2 for myself, I'm going with possibly the most inspirational, again, sticking with the theme, sports movie of all time. And I know you love it. I'm not sure why it's not in your top 5, but shame on you for not having it in your top 5. Rudy, the story of a youngster from South Bend, Indiana, who all he wanted to do when he grew up was play for the Fighting Irish. He did everything he could. He was a scrappy young fella. He wasn't the biggest. He was 5 foot nothing, 100 and nothing, with hardly a speck of athletic ability. And he made one of the best teams in America in the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Almost didn't even make it into school. Barely got in by getting his grades at Holy Cross. Like when you see, I call him Rock, but when you see Rock cheering for Rudy as he took the field, I don't even know Rock's real name in that movie. I just call him Rock from the show. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, I don't know Rock. What's Rock's real name? We got to find out Rock's real name. He was the most ingenious garbage man I've ever seen in my life, but we digress.
I don't know what Rock's real name is, but when Rock cheered for that man, when he got that sack, man, I damn near started crying. They was playing that music in the background. Come on, man. Rudy, if it's not in your top 5 sports movies of all time, don't even bother putting it on Twitter, because it will not be retweeted by myself or Daimeon. It needs to be in your top 5.
Now, I'm going to, you have your own opinion, and Rudy is a fine sports movie, but it's not even the best underdog football movie. I'm going, come on, man. I would put Invincible with Vince Papale. You know what I'm saying? Making the Philadelphia Eagles over Rudy.
Category
he was a bartender.
I can't. Man,
he was a bartender, man.
Factory with his family, man. He saw his brother die in an accident. I can't even believe you said that. If you would have said Express, maybe.
Oh, the Express is good.
But come on, man.
The Express was good. But I would even pick Denzel's football movie, high school football movie about the undefeated Alexandria, Virginia high school team over Rudy.
Man, come on. Listen, Remember the Titans. I'm not like now. Yes. Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans
it's a great movie.
Remember the Titans. I just couldn't put it in my top 5 because I wanted to give due.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Now if we had a top 6
program and The Last Boy Scout, because Halle Berry is in both those movies. But that is one of the premier football movies of all time. But we're gonna digress, man. We can't take all day to do this top 5, man.
Number 1.
So let me move on. Drum roll to my number 1 sports movie of all time.
Wildcats.
Yeah, right. Whatever. My number 1 sports movie of all time won Jean-Claude Van Damme as Frank Dukes in Bloodsport. Man, that's my favorite sports movie of all time.
Kumite.
Bloodsport came out in 88. It was fresh for 88, you suckers. Like BDP, Self-Destruction. Frank Dukes went to the Kumite and kicked ass the whole movie, including Chung Lee at the end of the movie. Chung Lee had been